Hello, WDS family. I'm very excited to be able to share with you this recorded training on Pear Deck. I am going to be focusing on the beginning portion. So here are our norms, and this is the beginning part of an early tech. The lesson frame is you will learn and explore a couple of Pear Deck tools through hands-on experience. So I'm hoping you guys can follow me with the session that I will later give you as a student paced. And the goal is for you to please be able to apply these Pear Deck tools to increase student engagement during classroom instruction. This is what our agenda looks like. Let's get started. Alrighty, so here I have a lesson. And what we're going to do is when you open up Google Slides, you're going to see a pair here, okay? Now I am intentionally already splitting my screen. This way, when I'm ready to model for you the student component, you're able to see that, okay? But right now we're in the building component. So you are going to see first how we're going to add the interactive tools in one of your Google Slides lessons. Okay, so if you guys notice when we click on the Pear Deck, on the little green pear, to the right, we are able to see our template library, and it's kind of, that little arrow kind of is indicating for you to click on it to access the template library. Here we see the interactive tools that we can use to add into our lesson, and then we have an audio, so we can add our audio. And then of course they have more support over here. So let's go ahead and take a look at the template library, okay? So as you can see, they have a lot of templates already pre-done, beginning of lesson, during, and critical thinking, even content. So that's pretty cool. So let's say you want to start off with what do you wonder? All you really have to do is just click on it. Notice where I have my mouse right now. So it's just going to put it right below it. And as a teacher, you're welcome to type up something different if you don't like what it says here or you want to change it a little bit. You definitely can. You can also go into your text box and add a little bit more. So you're welcome to make any changes as you see. Also notice here at the bottom, for any of the Pear Deck slides that you use, you're always going to have some type of information down here, and it always gives you some type of guidance on what the students will see. Okay, so you're always going to see that behind the scenes on your end. All right, so let's go ahead and click back for now, and we can go ahead and let's go ahead and go back again, and let's start looking at the interactive tools, okay? So the first one is your ABC, which is very similar to what you saw here. Students are going to see a text box where they're going to be able to type information. And so you're basically right now just converting this slide into that type of slide where students are going to get a text box to the side, and you'll see in a little bit where they can type in the answer. Let's go to the next one. The next one is a multiple choice. And right now you'll notice option A, B, and C. Even though you see it like this, everybody, do not assume that it's ready. You do actually have to type in A, B, and C, or you could also type in the actual answer choice, okay? So once you guys are done, of course, you can add another one here. You can go ahead and click on Update Slide. Okie dokie. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. This next one is a number. That means students will not be able to add any text, only a number to respond to this question. Then the next one is a website. So what I'm going to do is here on YouTube. So we're going to click here on share, and we're going to go ahead and copy that. And so now we're going to go into our, I did have to create a slide for this because if you actually do put it here, it is going to add that website. So this is the only one that you really have to create a separate slide for a website, okay? Also, everybody, I do want to share with you that this does work a little different. Right here, we're just going to go ahead and click on Update Slide. Don't worry about this at the moment, but I do want to share with you that whereas with Nearpod, you do have the embedded video on the slide, this one, students will have to click on the link and it will open on a tab. So I'll share what that looks like right now, but I just wanted to inform you, okay? Now the next one is the draw it. So this is very similar to having those tools where they can just kind of use their pencil, their pen, their highlighter, their text to just go ahead and draw on the screen. It's really, really cool. Let's look at that audio on this one, okay? So let's go ahead and ask them how many cupcakes are on this page. So we're going to click on add audio, and this actually already had one, so I'm going to go ahead and delete it, and then I'm going to press record. Please write how many cupcakes are on the slide. Okay, and then you can do it in English and Spanish if you like, or if you don't like it, you can delete it or add a little bit more. You have to pause, and then when you're done, go ahead and save it. If you like it, just go ahead and click add audio to slide. Alrighty, and as you can see it right here, that's what the students are gonna see. So this is where the students are gonna have to click in order to hear that, and I'll show you when we get there. Now we have a couple more. We're almost done, everybody. We have the draggable. So there's actually different ways to use the draggable. There's some creative ways to do that. For now, we're going to show you two ways. So here we have the dot. We can change it to different types. We're going to be using this one for now, just to show you one way. So if I use this method, of course, I know that there's 3 cupcakes, but if I put the 3, I could give away the answer. I mean, it all just depends on what you like. For these draggable, you only have up to 5, so you can always only add 5 draggable options. So just keep that in mind. This will allow you to make it bigger or smaller. Then once you're done, go ahead and click on Update Slide. Okay, so that's one way to do it. I'm going to go ahead and add a slide. Pardon me, I do have a template on this one, so I'm just going to add a blank one and I'll delete that one for now. And I'm going to show you one way to do this. So there's different ways to add a background where like things don't get moved. So like this one, they can drag and move. Well, at least here. Things won't move. And if I didn't want these to move, I could also show you in another training how to do that. But for now, one way is to add items on the background. Okay, so I'm going to go to Google image search, and let's say, just as an example, just so you can see, okay, I know it doesn't really apply to our 10 frame, but let's say even this one if you wanted to, but let's just go ahead and use that one for now. You can add a background and then you can make it draggable. And you can keep it as a dot. Maybe that red color wasn't the best choice, so tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and click on it again because I'm going to make a change. That's actually good that happened to me. That way you guys know how to make changes. And then maybe I'll change the color to maybe a yellow. Let's see. No, I can't see it that much. Let's try green. What do you think? Okay, so we're gonna update the slide. Another way, let's say, let me just do one more, everybody, just to share with you one last thing. So let's say here, right, you went into this one. Okay, guys, right there. And I'm gonna click done. And let's say you did a draw, okay? Whatever you decided to make this an interactive tool, and then you realized, oh, I should have made it a multiple choice, or I should have added a number. You mistakenly selected the wrong one. So you could just click on this bottom part and then just delete it. And then just go in and change it to whatever you wanted it. Again, if it's just one small change within that, interactive option, you could just do what I just did on this one. I just went back and changed the color. So I just wanted to show you guys how to do that, okay? All right, so now that we're done, we are ready to launch this lesson, okay? So to do that, we're going to go ahead and click Start Lesson. And we can do this student paced or instructor paced. So this one, you are actually in control of the lesson. This one, it is at their own pace. It will allow you to monitor. So I'll show you both ways. We'll start off with the instructor because there are different things available here that are not in the student paste, okay? So you're gonna see here, it looks like you made some changes. Okay, because I had already practiced before, it's giving me this message. So yes, I'm gonna start a brand new one. Okay, right now I'm in slide 14. So I do want to change that in a little bit because then the students will see slide 14. Okay, so I do want to make you aware of this message. It is very important because this means this teacher dashboard, it means that it's just a separate window. Notice how it's separate, only for you, for your eyes only. Okay, you're going to be able to see the names of the students. And so Pear Deck, how it works, it allows you, like this round right here, this is the one that students are going to see when you share your screen. They're going to be able to see their responses coming in anonymously. And so this one, it allows you to see like behind the scenes who's actually doing it. So you're going to go ahead and just click got it. And we're going to go ahead and here, just type in the code. So this is the student end, RXCMWE. Okay, so I didn't really have to press enter, it just went. I did right now. Remember, I told you I am in the, so I'm going to close the join code and I'm going to move into my slide, my number one slide per se. Okay, I could also have notes here if I wanted to, like here I did, made those notes to keep this dashboard separate. So this is what students see. This is yours. So when you're on Google Meet and you're presenting, everybody, make sure that you're only sharing this one. Okay, this one is for you on a separate, like you could have it like this on a split screen, just kind of like how I have it. And this is the one that you're sharing, and this one is yours. Just right now, I'm sharing you like everything so you can see what it looks like on the student end and on the teacher end. Alrighty, everybody, what I would like to show you first before we continue as a student is you'll notice there's an arrow right here. And so what this allows you to do is if you're in your Google Meet, you can just go ahead and copy the link and you can go ahead and paste it on the Meet. You can also post this on your Google Classroom. There are some glitches at the moment that I'm noticing that when you actually do post it, they're not seeing it at the moment. This is something that is a little bit different this time, but just keep trying. Hopefully they can fix it very soon. But it is another option that you have where you can just go ahead and post this on the Google Classroom. So, if this were here, I would just click on it and then I would go into the Google Classroom and be able to access it, okay? Alrighty, so we're gonna go ahead and close this and we're gonna open up our teacher dashboard. So it's right here. Let's go ahead and open our teacher dashboard. I seem to have lost it, but if I click right here, I can just go ahead and click on it. There we go. So it kind of hid from me. So that's good in a way. That way you also know how to access it, okay? So from here, I'm just gonna go ahead and I don't need to, like if I move it from here or here, it's okay. It'll work. Look, I'm just gonna click next. Let me kind of close this for a little bit. See, and it'll work. So I don't have to do it from the teacher dashboard. I guess I just like to have this teacher dashboard because this is where I'm going to see the names of the students. So here, this is what, let me go ahead and move this a little bit to the right. This is your screen that you're sharing on Google Meet. So you can ask the students, what do you wonder about today's topic? And then them on their device, they're gonna see here, like that text box for them to answer. So as soon as they start typing, remember on my teacher dashboard, I can see who is answering. So if I had more students, I would recommend for you to click on the grid because you're going to be able to see all the students. And do you see how it's showing me real life, like real time? Like in Nearpod, they actually have to click submit, and you can see real time on Securely, but with Pear Deck, you can see that real time right there and there. So the students have more than one text box to write. And so here you'll also be able to see like responses that you may not want to share, because in real time you do see here show responses. So if you just click on it, it's going, remember, this is the one that you're sharing with the students. See, they're anonymous, and it's going to show everybody's responses. They are going to be anonymous, but it'll show all of them. Whereas if you saw something was inappropriate, so let me go ahead and hide them, and you can star them. Let's say you can star a couple of them, and then you can click show responses, and it will only show the ones you star. All right, so that's just a little tip that I think is really important to know, okay? Because you may want to star an incorrect response and just talk a little bit about it, and they won't know who it is. So it's a really good teaching opportunity. So if I go ahead and unstar it, I could also leave feedback. I could say great job and then send some feedback. Okay, now right here on the student side, if you notice, they got a little notification, okay? So they can just go ahead and click on it and they can see what that looks like. Okay, so let me move it a little bit. I know that's kind of blocking your view. Great job. So the student can just go ahead and click mark as read. All right. All right, moving on. Let's go ahead and go to the next one. So on this one, we had a number, okay? We had a number. So if students try to type in, oh no, this one is an ABC text too, pardon me, everybody. So here is an ABC. The answer is, maybe you want them to answer in a complete sentence. Answer is 4, right? Alrighty. So that's also your ABC, because we had our beginning of the lesson template was an ABC, and then our first slide was an ABC. Okay, so this is what it looks like behind the scenes, real time with all my students. Here I can also hide it. So it's not really, see how it's not really sharing it unless I actually go in and show it. So this one, I hid it. It doesn't show it, but it'll show everybody else's. So that's another way to, whether you want to do add the star, or just go ahead and hide the ones you don't want to show. Okay? Okie dokie. Now, another thing you guys can do with Pear Deck is you guys can go ahead and lock the screens. I know students will tend to take their time, and so this will help you to kind of set a bit of a timer. So one of our amazing teachers asked and empowered me with this amazing question, Miss Cloud. And so thanks to her amazing question, that's why you see behind the Active Inspire. So right here, you guys have different ways. So if I go here and you click right here, and right here, you actually have 2 options for a timer, okay? So I'm going to just go ahead and close it, and I'm just going to go ahead and change this to, because it'll come out as a clock first. You just have to change it as a timer, and then you're welcome to like select the time or just use these quick ones and then just go ahead and click start. Now, another thing you can also do is see how I have it here? I did that by going here into my menu, tools, and then I went into more tools and it was right here. Okay, but let's say you always wanted it here, like you use it a lot. So you can go into edit user defined, and then you can go ahead and go into commands and then kind of find it, right? So I'm not gonna find it because I already have it here, but let's see this revealer. So let's pretend that's your clock. You would just click add and see how it now appears here, because it's always going to be in your menu. Okay, so now I'm always going to have it there. I don't have to look for it. I can just click on it, and then I would click down or up, count down or up. So it just depends if you want it, what way you want it to count. And then of course you can just put in your timer if you wanted a sound, and then click OK. So you have those two options. Now, for this one, you could just like minimize it and it'll work. But I'm going to take advantage of a teachable moment, because another thing that I could do is I could also go into my desktop annotate tool with Active Inspire, and I could like write something here, or circle something. So I'm just going to click on the pen, I'm going to click on white, and then maybe I'm like going to point out something. Oops, that should be an arrow, everybody. That's not a very nice arrow. So let me erase all my page. Let's go ahead and proceed, and let's go to the next one. Now, the next one, I went ahead and chose a multiple choice. So notice how students choose an option. That's always going to be, this is the screen you're sharing. And so what they're going to see is they're going to see the option A, B, or C. So here we would just click on this one, and this is what it would look on your teacher dashboard. You would start to see like a total of how many A's, how many B's, and how many C's, like a bit of a poll. And so if you wanted to show responses, then you could just click right here, show responses, and so the students would be able to see what you're seeing. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and move on to the next one. And this one was entering a number. And notice it will also tell the students right here. Students enter a number. So from here, all they would have to do is just type it in, or if the student has a difficult time, I know I have this a little bit smaller, but they'll see like a little arrow where they can just move it up or down, and they can go ahead and move that, okay? I'm gonna just go ahead and close these timers for now, but they'll just kind of like ring, okay? And so here again, you could show your responses to the students. Remember, this is the screen that they're seeing, and so it'll kind of give you this view as to how many students, chose a student, how far the answer is, like if it's too far off or everybody's right there. So it's a really nice view to share with the class. All right, let's go ahead and look at the website now. For the website, unfortunately, it does show that little sad face, so that can be a little misleading to students. So please point out to actually click on the link, okay? And that link will take them. Now notice that it did open another tab. Okay, so that is something a little different, and keep in mind, so in order for them to go back to your lesson, they do have to click back here. If you move the page, it will move it for them, but if they were still here, they do have to click back here, okay? I'm gonna leave it here just so you can see what that looks like. So let's say you turn the page. Again, it doesn't close it for the student, so once the student goes back into that tab, the student is now on that tab. So if you guys have securely, that could be an option. You could close the video for them on securely and then bring them back to this slide. That's another option you can do. Alrighty, for this one, it is a draw it, as you guys can see. So remember, this is the one that we're presenting on the screen on the Google Meet as a tab. The dashboard one is for you to have right here, so you can be able to see the students who's participating and their names, right? And what you want to share, what you do not want to share. Also, if you notice, this one has an audio. So before I get into the audio, notice you have the pencil, and then if they click here, it'll make it bigger, smaller. They can change the color. They have a highlighter if this were a passage. Same thing, they could change the size. They have a line if you want them to connect something, and of course, changing the how big you want that line, the color. They also have a T, like if you wanted them to type. So you also have that option. They can change the color. They can change like how big they want that text box to go. They might need more space, so they can stretch it out. And then we have the eraser. So let's say I did write something here. They would have that eraser. And right here also, you'll be able to choose like how thick you want that eraser. So if you were to put here an 8, something to that matter, that's how that would look. And here, of course, is your undo. And then if you click here, it'll just like, as you saw, it'll just delete, like clear the whole page. Okay, and notice how the teacher, again, you're able to see it real time. Okay, and now I'm gonna go ahead and click right here, everybody. This is where, because the students see this sign right here, so when they see that, that means they got to go to the bottom of the screen and they can go ahead and click play. Please write how many cupcakes are on the slide. Okay, so this is where the students are going to be able to hear your voice of what you recorded, any other instructions you needed. Okay, and so make sure you guys, if you have that there, just kind of point it out to them or remind them. Okay, okie dokie. And again, we can go into show responses. I can lock it and then show responses of what I want to show, whether I wanted to hide some or star some or show everybody's. This one will show it one at a time, but if you click on the like coming down, um, like a list layout, but this one will show you a grid and you'll be able to see everybody's responses here. Okay, and this one is just kind of like stack them all up. You guys can try it. There's not a lot to stack at the moment, it's just one, but you can just always switch it back to this one. Okie dokie, so let's go ahead and move on to the next page. Alrighty, so this one is a draggable. So again, there are different ways. You guys might just want them to drag like the answer, or it's up to you how you want to do that. That's definitely one way to do it. And then let me go ahead and get my dashboard. Again, I could go ahead and show responses, and this is what the kids would see on their screen. So just kind of see the answer right there. Okay, another thing is we're going to go ahead and turn the page. And so this is the one that I was sharing you, that there are other ways to do that. So you could be like, all right, students, move your icon to, Texas, Washington, California, anywhere. You guys could play a little game and then you could lock it and then kind of just share, oh, good job, everybody. You did awesome. You guys, you could just really make it very interesting and fun, and then unlock them and then try a different place. So those are just different ways on how you guys could use those draggables, okay? Alrighty, so now we are done showing all the interactive tools. And so now I'm about to show you, let's pretend that you had a teachable moment. So you can go ahead and click new prompt. You'll have all those templates and more, of course. So you can definitely, oh, let's compare, or, anything, or let's just go ahead and reflect on what you just learned. And even the one you had, like right now you had as a draggable, maybe you want to change it to a text or to a drawing. So it also allows you to make those changes on the slides you have. So that's a very cool feature that that Pear Deck has. Alrighty. Another thing you can do is, like, let's say you ran out of time. You guys were so engaged. You were having so much fun. But of course, time is so fast, and you might, okay, guys, we're going to have to take this for homework. From here, what you can do is you can go ahead and turn on student paste. Okay, so now that we changed it to student paste, let's go ahead and try it. So we're going to go into Google Classroom. And then you can go ahead and post this into your Google Classroom. And then you can choose to create an assignment. Then you can write in the details, that this is your lesson, and depending on how many classes you want to post this, of all your students or just one or two, you're differentiating a due date, a topic. So let's say this is a math one, and then you can go ahead and assign it. So now you have made this lesson student pace, which means as a student, I am now able to move from one slide to another, making the changes I need. So let's see right here. See, I just went ahead and posted this as a homework assignment. So for this one, it is working very well. Now that it is student paced, the students are able to navigate on their own. But what does that do for you as a teacher? You can still, right here, you can still see like what's happening real time. So let me go to this slide in particular. Let's see here. There you go. So I'm going to show responses. And see, there's a 6 here. So if I change it, see how it's changing as I'm going. Even though I'm in student paced, I can still monitor students' progress as they're making changes. So like I just have to be on that slide and I can see what they're doing, or what changes they're making as they're actually completing this assignment. So it is really cool to be able to monitor that progress for the students. Alrighty, everybody. So now that you've seen the teacher side, how to add the interactive tools, post them on Google Classroom, how to share the link, whether it's on your Google Meet or on your Google Classroom. Now that you're able to see that, now let's go ahead and take a look at what the reports look like, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and just close this for now. You don't need to see the student screen anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and hide the responses. And I don't want to end it, okay? Because remember, I left it for homework, but I am going to leave it for now. And I'm going to go ahead and go into Pear Deck. So I'm going to log in as a teacher, and I'm going to see here at the top, sessions. So right here, I'm able to see sessions that I have closed and opened in the past. Let me go ahead and look at this one right here. So if you look at it, this one that was on Wednesday, it is closed, and I can go ahead and see it through the teacher dashboard. I just wanted to show you, when you click here, what other options you have. You can reopen the session, you can name it, you can archive it, and you can export it to a spreadsheet. So let me go ahead and open it as a spreadsheet just so you can see what that looks like. Honestly, I prefer the dashboard view. Honestly, that is the best method to see anything that your students did, because this one just kind of gives you like slide 1, slide 2. So if you don't really remember what was there, it'll be a little bit difficult to determine that grade. Whereas here, you're able to see the actual slide and what was responded at that moment, who responded. This is how you would be able to go back into your reports, look at it as a dashboard view, and then be able to capture a grade on it. Alrighty, everybody. Well, I hope this recorded training was helpful for you. If you have any questions, please let me know. Anything also that will help me improve, please feel free to share it with me. Have a beautiful day, and thank you so much for watching.